downstairs on my cameras, and I can see all of the brave passengers. Goes on. Sadly, they all have one thing in common. They're no longer with us today. So we are just waiting. Old Waterloo Bridge, also known as the Ladies' Bridge, the Hatcham, the Matcham, and the Dispatcham. But now the taxman's moved in, so we've added the Catcham. This is our National Theatre. Now, believe it or not, ladies, floating livery hall in existence. Now, if nobody knows what that means, it's basically a floating pub for retired sea captains. But it's now home to one of the best restaurants in London, and the very top, the Harvey Nichols restaurant. And just underneath, some unaffordable luxury apartments. Now, the next bridge is called Southwark Road Bridge. This is the most underused bridge here in central London. And the reason for that, there is a one-way system to this bridge. Nobody knows where it is. So if you see anybody up there, do give them a smile and a wave, because I guarantee you, they are lost. A lot of the emergency services and the workers here in London, they will use this bridge because it's the least congested. Do a left. That way. They're lost. 100%. Now, a lot of people ask me out here on the river, what happens to London's rubbish? On the left-hand side, you can see a barge with some grey containers. This is called River Thames. Now, 90% of London's rubbish leaves this site by barge, and we send it to a place called Essex. Now, they do get their own back. They send it back to us via television. Has anybody seen the TV programme Towie? Well, if you have, I'm very sorry. You should never have gone through that. But that's how they get their own back. One of those grey containers is the equivalent to one lorry. So you can just see on that one barge alone how many lorries are being taken off the streets of London by barge. We're now going under Cannon Street's railway bridge. Not a very interesting bridge. It does its job. It stops trains from falling in the River Thames. But what is interesting, on the right-hand side, you can see a pirate ship. Now, with a show of hands, does anybody on this boat like the Pirates of the Caribbean? Well, if you do, you may want to get a picture of this pirate ship, because it's got absolutely nothing to do with the France. It's Sir Francis Drake's replica of the Golden Hind. Sir Francis Drake was the first Englishman to circumnavigate the globe, and the replica in the dock over there has done it twice. As you can see, some repairs are being made to the ship. That's because it's going for a third voyage. Now, staying on the right, folks, you're only going to see this one for a couple of seconds, but in between these two buildings, there is going to be a fantastic photo opportunity of Southwark Cathedral. This is where John Harvard was baptized, the founder of Harvard University. There it is, on the right-hand side. Now, we're surely going to be going under the world-famous London Bridge. Now, people come from all around the world to see London Bridge. And guess what? Well, this is what you get. They mistake this bridge for tower as the Shard of Glass. It stands at over 1,000 feet tall, and it's home to the 5-star Shangri-La Hotel. Now you can go up the Shard, ladies and gents. On the 72nd floor, they have a viewing platform. It's around £25, and on a clear sunny day, you can see up to 50 miles in every given direction. The architect of the Shard was an Italian man by the name of Renzo. But if you're in London on a budget today, on the left-hand side, a building that looks like a walkie-talkie. This is called 20 Fenchurch Street. Now at the very top of that building, as you can see, they have a viewing platform of their own. It's called the Sky Garden. Now a lot of our passengers don't know this, but it's completely free of charge. It's all you need to do is book before you arrive. Book the Sky Garden. I imagine the views are very similar to the Shard. Now on the right hand side, on the front of the warship, you are now looking at the only Union Jack flag here in London. Now to be called a Union Jack, it must be on the front of a British warship. And it must be on a wooden jackstart. So all of the other flags you've seen today, or will see throughout the day, they are called Union flags. The ship itself is the Hms Belfast. It was launched in Belfast on St Patrick's Day in 1938 in the Harland and Wolfe shipyard. That was the same shipyard that built the Titanic. The Belfast was one of the first British ships to fire its guns in anger on D-Day, and it last saw action in the Korean campaign. But it's now permanently moored here at London Bridge. It's a floating museum. You can go on board, pay a small fee, and go on all 9 decks. It's a great day out for the children here in London. Now what the captain likes to do here, ladies and gents, rather than just go straight into Tower Pier, we like to take you up to Tower Bridge. And we like to turn this boat directly in front of Tower Bridge. It's so our passengers can get the very best photo opportunity of the bridge. Tower Bridge is the gateway into London. It's 127 years old. It's a part bascule, part suspension bridge. The bascules are the centre part of Tower Bridge. Now the bascules will only ever fully raise when a member of the royal family is going underneath. It's an iron-built bridge, but it has stone cladding, and it shares its neo-Gothic style image with the Tower of London on the left-hand side. So ladies and gents, we are going to turn this boat, and there is going to be a fantastic photo on the right-hand side of the boat. They say if you can get a picture of a double-decker bus in the middle of Tower Bridge, well, that's 2 iconic sights of London. That will cost you £5 on a postcard. Now, if the bus is stuck in traffic, well, that's 3 iconic sights of London. Now, Tower Bridge is closed for 1 day of the year only. Can anybody tell me what day that is? Not today. Not Christmas Day, madam. Not my birthday. It's the day of the London Marathon. Every single year, 40,000 heroes run across this bridge to raise millions of pounds for good causes. There we go, 2 iconic sights of London. Now, if you are wondering, when is Tower Bridge going to open? On average, the bridge opens around 800 times a year, but you can simply go on your phones and type in Tower Bridge lifting times, and it will provide you with a schedule throughout the month. There we are, fantastic photo on the right hand side of the boat.
At their funerals over at St Paul's, such as Winston Churchill, Margaret Thatcher, and of course himself, Sir Christopher Wren. But it's a London architect's nightmare, because it's forbidden to cast a shadow over that building. This is why you don't see any high-rise buildings. Now, with a show of hands, ladies and gents, who likes modern art? Well, that will probably explain why it's free. You can see great art from all around the world, and it's completely free of charge. It's Millennium Footbridge, also known as the Wobbly Bridge. This bridge was opened at 9 o'clock in the morning by the Queen, and it was closed at 10 o'clock in the morning by the police, because it was swaying side to side. It's where it got its nickname, the Wobbly Bridge. Now the architect, live on television, he said there was nothing wrong with my bridge. It was the way Londoners walk. As after the Great Fire of London, all thatched roofs are now banned. You can see a play over there, ladies and gents, on certain days, in its periodic fashion, for as low as £5. Now that's not bad value for money here in London, considering a pint of beer is around £6 plus. Now the next bridge is called Southwark Road Bridge. This is the most underused bridge here in central London, and the reason for that, there is a one-way system to this bridge. Nobody knows where it is. So if you see anybody up there, you give him a smile and a wave, because I guarantee you they are lost. A lot of the emergency services and the workers here in London, they will use this bridge because it's the least congested. Do a left. That way. They're lost. 100%. Now a lot of people ask me out here on the river, what happens to London's rubbish? On the left hand side, you can see a barge with some grey containers. This is called Warburg Wharf. Now 90% of London's rubbish leaves this site by barge, and we send it to a place called Essex. Now they do get their own back. They send it back to us via television. Has anybody seen the TV program Towie? Well, if you have, I'm very sorry. Should never have gone through that. But that's how the ever fully rates when a member of the royal family is going underneath. It's an iron-built bridge, but it has stone cladding, and it shares its neo-Gothic style image with the Tower of London on the, because it's got absolutely nothing to do with the films. It's Sir Francis Drake's replica of the Golden Hind. Sir Francis Drake was the first Englishman to circumnavigate the globe, and the replica in the dock over there has done it twice. Folks, you're only going to see this one for a couple of seconds, but in between these two buildings there is going to be a fantastic photo opportunity of Southwark Cathedral. This is where John Harvard was baptized, the founder of Harvard University. There it is, on the right hand side. Now we're surely going to be going under the world famous London Bridge. Now people come from all around the world to see London Bridge, and guess what? Well, this is what you get. They mistake this bridge for Tower Bridge, but London Bridge is the famous bridge. It's where the history lies. The first London Bridge was built by the Romans over 2,000 years ago, and it was made out of ants in Arizona. On the right hand side, you cannot miss it. It's Western Europe's tallest building. It's the Shard, or better known as the Shard of Glass. It stands at over 1,000 feet tall, and it's home to the 5-star Shangri-La Hotel. Now you can go up the Shard, ladies and gents. On the 72nd floor, they have a viewing platform. It's around £25, and on a clear sunny day, you can see up to 50 miles in every given direction. The architect of the Shard was an Italian man by the name of Renzo Piano. But if you're in London on a budget today, on the left-hand side, a building that looks like a walkie-talkie. This is called 20 Fenchurch Street. Now at the very top of that building, as you can see, they have a viewing platform of their own. It's called the Sky Garden. Now a lot of our passengers don't know this, but it's completely free of charge. It's all you need to do is book before you arrive. Book the Sky Garden. That's the only Union Jack flag here in London. Now to be called a Union Jack, it must be on the front of a British warship, and it must be on a wooden jackstaff. So all of the other flags you've seen today, or will see throughout the day, they are called Union flags. The ship itself is the Hms Belfast. It was launched in Belfast on St Patrick's Day in 1938 in the Harland and Wolfe shipyard. That was the same shipyard that built the Titanic. The Belfast likes to do here, ladies and gents, rather than just go straight into Tower Pier, we like to take you up to Tower Bridge, and we like to turn ever fully raise when a member of the royal family is going underneath. It's an iron-built bridge, but it has stone cladding, and it shares its neo-Gothic style image with the Tower of London on the